Mary stood in front of her closet, overwhelmed by clothes she hadn't worn in years. Blouses with tags, pants from the 90s, and shoes that looked better on display than on her feet. How did I end up with so much stuff? Sound familiar? A cluttered closet isn't just messy. It drains energy, wastes time, and adds stress. Today, we're tackling 10 things to let go of after 60 for a lighter, stress-free wardrobe. Let's get started. 1. Anything that doesn't fit anymore. We all have that one outfit. The dress that once hugged every curve perfectly. The jeans that made us feel unstoppable. The blouse that was just a little snug but still worked. At least it did 20 years ago. Yet, there it hangs, taking up space. A constant reminder of a body that no longer exists. Mary had a whole section in her closet dedicated to her one-day clothes. One day, she'd lose weight. One day, she'd find the perfect occasion to wear that expensive skirt she bought on sale. One day, she'd slip into that structured blazer that had fit so well in the early 2000s. But one day never came. Instead, what did come were feelings of frustration and disappointment. Every time she pulled out one of those items, hoping today would be different, she ended up stuffing it back in, feeling like she had failed somehow. Then one afternoon, while helping her sort through her closet, Mary's daughter said something that stuck. If it doesn't fit your body, it doesn't fit your life. That was it. That was the wake-up call Mary needed. She stood in front of her closet and started pulling out every piece that didn't fit her today. If it pinched, tugged, wouldn't button, or needed an impossible amount of shapewear to make work, it went straight into the donation bag. The change wasn't just physical, it was emotional. Her closet transformed from a space filled with maybe one-day disappointments into a place filled with clothes that actually worked for her, right now. And every morning, instead of being reminded of what she used to wear, she felt empowered by what she could wear. If your closet is holding on to pieces that no longer fit, it's time for a reality check. Stand in front of your wardrobe and ask yourself, would I buy this today? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. 2. Clothes that make you uncomfortable. You know exactly which ones I'm talking about. That gorgeous blouse that looks stunning on a hanger, but gapes at the buttons every time you sit down. That sweater that's just a little too scratchy, but you tell yourself it will soften over time. Spoiler, it won't. Those pants that technically fit, but require you to suck in your stomach all day, just to breathe. Mary had a pair of beautiful high heels. Every time she looked at them, she admired their sleek design, the way they made her legs look longer. But every time she actually put them on, she regretted it. Within minutes, her feet ached, her back protested, and she could feel the blisters forming before she even stepped out the door. Yet, for years, she held on to them. Why? Because they were expensive. Because they were still in perfect condition. Because they should have been wearable. But then one day, she caught herself doing something ridiculous. She tried them on, walked around her bedroom, winced in pain, and then put them back in the closet. Again. That's when it hit her. If she wasn't willing to wear them in her own home, she was never going to wear them out. That was the moment she decided, if something doesn't feel good, it doesn't belong in her life. The next day, she went through her closet with a new mindset. She asked herself, do I actually enjoy wearing this? If the answer was no, it was gone. And let me tell you, getting dressed became so much easier. No more adjusting, tugging, or suffering through outfits that just didn't work. Every single piece left in her closet was something she felt good in. So here's the challenge. Go to your closet and try on those pieces you've been avoiding. If something itches, squeezes, or constantly needs adjusting, it's time to say goodbye. Because fashion is supposed to make you feel confident, not uncomfortable. 3. The I might need it one day. Clothes. Ah, the just in case clothes. The blazer you've been holding onto in case a corporate job magically reappears. The cocktail dress you bought for a wedding 10 years ago but haven't worn since. The formal skirt that looked stunning once but no longer fits your lifestyle. Mary was the queen of just-in-case outfits. She had a silk blouse that she swore she'd wear again. Maybe for a fancy dinner, a party, a reunion. She couldn't quite say when, but she was certain the perfect occasion would come. But it never did. Every time she saw that blouse hanging there, she felt a little guilty. It was beautiful, practically brand new, and yet it was taking up space for no reason. Then, one day, she asked herself a simple question. If I had to wear this tomorrow, would I be excited or stressed? The answer was clear. If she truly needed something dressy in the future, she'd want something fresh, something she actually looked forward to wearing, not something that had been collecting dust for a decade. So she let it go. And with every piece she removed, she felt lighter. If you're holding on to clothes for a life you no longer live, it's time to trust yourself. Let go of the what ifs and make space for what actually fits your life right now. Because here's the truth. If you haven't worn it in years, you're not going to start tomorrow. And that's okay. Give yourself permission to move on. 4. Duplicates of the same thing. You know that moment? You pull out a sweater and suddenly think, wait, don't I already have this? You check the closet, and sure enough, there's another one, and another, and another. Mary had always been a creature of habit when it came to shopping. She loved a good black cardigan, a well-fitted pair of jeans, and soft scarves that added a touch of elegance to any outfit. But one day, as she was organizing her closet, she realized something startling. She didn't just have one black cardigan, she had 6, and 4 pairs of jeans that looked almost identical, and scarves, enough to wrap around the earth twice. She couldn't help but laugh. When had this happened? It wasn't that she intentionally bought duplicates, it just sort of happened over time. She'd find a new cardigan, fall in love with it, and bring it home, completely forgetting that she had a nearly identical one already waiting for her. That day, Mary made a new rule, one favorite of each. She laid out all her black cardigans and picked the one she loved the most, the one that fit just right, felt comfortable, and actually got worn the most. The rest? They went straight into the donation pile. She did the same with her jeans, keeping the most flattering pair and letting go of the extras that didn't fit quite as well. And scarves? She chose the ones she actually wore, not the ones that sat untouched for years. Decluttering duplicates didn't just free up space in her closet, it made getting dressed easier. No more rifling through multiple versions of the same thing. Now, when she reached for something, she knew it was her absolute favorite. Take a look in your own closet. How many duplicates do you have? Pick your best and favorite and let the rest go. Because let's be honest, if you have 5 of the same thing, you probably only wear 1 or 2 anyway. 5. Clothes that bring up bad memories. Clothes hold memories. Some bring joy, some bring nostalgia, and some bring back things we'd rather forget. Mary had a dress. It was lovely, silky, elegant, and well made, but every time she saw it, she felt uncomfortable. Not because of the fabric, but because of what it represented. She had worn it to a wedding where she felt completely out of place. She had been seated at the wrong table, made awkward small talk with people she barely knew, and spent most of the night wishing she had stayed home. And yet, the dress stayed in her closet for years. Every time she came across it, it brought back that feeling of discomfort. Yet she never wore it again. One day, while sorting through her clothes, she hesitated over the dress. why was she keeping it? It wasn't making her happy. It wasn't adding value to her life. It was simply taking up space, both in her closet and in her mind. That's when she asked herself, why am I keeping something that doesn't make me feel good? The moment she put it in the donation bag, she felt a weight lift off her shoulders. Because here's the truth. Your closet should be a place of joy, not a storage unit for bad memories. If you have an outfit that reminds you of a difficult time, let it go. If a dress makes you think of a relationship you'd rather forget, donate it. If a blouse reminds you of a job you hated, release it. Because clothes should make you feel confident, comfortable, and happy. And anything that doesn't? It doesn't belong in your life anymore. 6. High maintenance fabrics. Let's be honest. Who has time for high maintenance clothes? The dry clean only blouses? The linen pants that wrinkle the moment you sit down? The fussy fabrics that require steaming, ironing, or constant adjusting? Mary used to have an entire section in her closet for special care clothes. She had a gorgeous silk blouse, but every time she wore it, she stressed about spilling something on it. She had a wool skirt that always needed lint rolling before she left the house. She had a dress that required ironing every single time she wore it, which meant it rarely left the closet. One day, as she was doing laundry, she realized something. She always reached for the easy-to-care-for pieces, the ones she could wash, wear, and move on with her day. The high-maintenance ones? They sat in her closet, untouched. That's when she decided, if I don't want to take care of it, I shouldn't keep it. She swapped out the dry clean only clothes for machine washable options. She let go of the pieces that needed special treatment and only kept the ones that fit her life, not the other way around. And you know what? Getting dressed became so much easier. No more worrying about wrinkles, no more avoiding certain outfits because they were too much work. Now, every piece in her closet was something she actually wanted to wear, without the hassle. Look through your own wardrobe. If a piece requires more maintenance than you're willing to give, it's time to let it go. Because clothes should fit your life, not add to your to-do list. 7. Sentimental clothing. You never wear. There's something about clothing that makes it feel different from other clutter. It's not just fabric, it's memories. A cozy sweater from an old love, the dress you wore to your milestone birthday, the college sweatshirt that once made you feel invincible. Some pieces tell stories. Mary had one such piece, her wedding dress. For decades, it sat neatly boxed in her closet, untouched but cherished. Every time she came across it, she felt a rush of nostalgia, but deep down, she knew she'd never wear it again. Still, parting with it felt impossible. How do you let go of something so meaningful? One day, while clearing out her closet, she had an idea. What if I keep the memory, but not the clutter? Instead of holding onto the entire dress, she took a beautiful picture of it and saved a small piece of fabric as a keepsake. Then, with a deep breath, she donated it to an organization that repurposes gowns for newborns in the NICU. And you know what? She didn't feel loss. She felt peace. The dress was no longer sitting in a box, gathering dust. It was out in the world, bringing comfort to someone else. So here's the truth. Memories don't live in fabric. They live in you. If something is taking up space but not being used, consider preserving it in a new way. Take a photo, save a swatch of fabric, or repurpose it into something meaningful. Let go of the item, but hold on to the memory. 8. Freebies and promotional shirts. It happens slowly. A charity walk here, a work event there, and suddenly, you have an entire drawer of free t-shirts you never wear. Mary opened her dresser one day and realized half her shirts were freebies. She had collected them over the years from marathons, fundraisers, and company giveaways. They weren't bad shirts. Some were soft, some still looked brand new. But when was the last time she actually chose to wear one? The answer? Never. The truth is, freebies aren't the same as favorites. They stick around not because we love them, but because we feel bad throwing them away. But here's the thing. Keeping something out of guilt doesn't make it valuable. Mary decided to set a limit. 2 t-shirts for painting and chores. Everything else? Gone. She donated the good ones and repurposed a few for rags. And just like that, her dresser had space again. Take a look at your stash. Do you really need them all? Keep a couple for practical use and let the rest go. Because let's be honest, you deserve a wardrobe full of clothes you love, not just clothes you got for free. 9. Shoes that hurt. Mary had 3 pairs of heels she hadn't worn in a decade, but couldn't let go of. But the truth was, they weren't doing her any favors. If shoes cause blisters, pain, or make walking difficult, they have no place in your life. Your feet deserve comfort. Let go of painful shoes and invest in pairs that support you. 10. Anything that doesn't make you feel beautiful. This is the ultimate rule. If you don't feel amazing in it, why keep it? Mary's turning point came when she tried on an old blouse and saw how dull it made her feel. That's when she realized, clothes should make you feel confident, not just covered. Your wardrobe should celebrate you, not weigh you down. That's it. 10 things you need to clear out of your closet after 60. Imagine waking up, opening your closet, and only seeing pieces you love, wear, and feel great in. That's the goal. So tell me, which one are you getting rid of first? Drop it in the comments. And if this helped, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs a decluttering day. Because let's be real, we all have at least one thing we should have tossed years ago.